Hi there, this is Skoggle doing another FOE Training Grounds video. We're doing something a little bit different this time. We're going to talk about a drill. There's no drills in League of Legends that I'm aware of that anyone talks about, such as free throw drills, layup drills, how to hit shots, like how to play basketball, how to play football, stuff like that. In all other competitive team sports, there's drills for individual skills. And I've noticed when I play with my friends that are behind me that they lack farming skills and the people they're playing against lack farming skills. So I'm going to go over this video set and talk about something I did to help myself train how to farm and something I'm doing to work with my friends and some of the people that I'm mentoring and how to teach them how to farm. So what I'm doing here is I started this drill and a contest that you take a champion, and when you're learning the champion you take him and you go against no bots at all, as you can see, and your goal is to get as high of a score, and your score is all based on your CS at the end of this game. So there's a few principles, a few concepts. It's the patience of last hitting, not doing what he see there. He just auto-attacked and missed it. So now he's stopping and waiting because he knows it. I was spectating this game, so I'm 3 minutes behind him. So if I give him advice, it's behind. Where it's here, I would have told him not to leave to do golems with minions there. He's gonna for sure get 2, and he misses like 4 or 5 minions by the time he gets back to the lane. If he had pushed to the tower and cleared all the minions, that would have been a great move to get him ahead. But he had heard me saying I get ahead by farming the jungle too, but there's times to farm the jungle and times not to. And so here you're gonna see that CS on the bottom. He could have queued to it and gotten that one. Instead he misses it, so that's something he can work on, and I'm just going to give him the feedback so he can learn. And it's just about going up and stopping in the right places, being in the right place, and using your abilities properly to farm, not just use them and then you're out of mana or they're on cooldown when you could have used them. And so he doesn't use his E effectively, so that's something he could improve on. He needs to work on his leap strike to get the ones that are out of reach for him, and not just use it to use it. And he needs to learn that E can take out several at once. If he knocks them all low, he can mass clear with the E. So just different things he could pick up on. And that's just to start, but he does do a good job in this one. And what the goal is he's going to go for 20 minutes and see how much CS he can get. That time he pushed to the tower, it was a much better response to the going and taking the golems, and it worked out a lot better for him. And so that one worked good, and he's going to be able to get out and losing minimal CS out from the lane to get that gold there. And that can get you ahead and get you extra experience. It can get you farther ahead if you can do that with a minimal loss in the lane. And so there he could have queued, so that's something if he watches this video and redoes it. So I'm going to have him do it 3 or 4 more times in between, and have him probably tomorrow evening come out and do it again and see what his CS score will be after a little bit of practice with this champion. He doesn't really play Jax. I think he just picked him up, and I think he'd played him 1 time before this. And so here he's going to be able to go past the wave, but you can see that by tanking him past the wave with just boots, that he's going to have a hard time sustaining. If there was another champion, he'd be dead for sure. You can do that against people when it's safe to, and you'll learn how to do that. So here he's going to have to back. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because it's not necessarily that exciting. He's just going to teleport back to lane, so I'm not going to go too fast. And he picks up the Wriggles Lantern first. Part of that is, I think, if you're learning Jask especially, you can use that as such a good escape tool, and it's like a free flash, or it's the extra ward and you can buy less wards, but you have wards you can leap to besides the fact that you can have a flash to escape and different things you can do. Jax is one of those champions. If you farm him up, he's gonna be a beast late game. He just gets so strong with items. And so here he's gonna push to the tower, he's gonna go past, and now he's a Wriggles Lantern, so he now has the armor, the ability to proc that random proc, which can screw up your last hitting if you're not just using it to last hit, and it can mess you up, but it's fine for that situation, and he sustains it without really taking damage. He can loop around, take these golems down, and he's able to get right back into the lane. He could have queued here and gotten back there, but he didn't need to with where he was at. And so he can work on his E, he can work on his time a little bit, but once you have that Wriggles, you can go past lane. Obviously, if there's a lane opponent, they'd have to have backed or been low or been roaming for you to do this. But that's a good way to make sure that you don't have the minions take any of your last hits from you. And here he doesn't know really what to do. He's going to go take the Wraiths and come back. And that's not a bad decision. Just do it quick if you're on a CS contest. So next time you'll probably do that a little quicker. and he does a good job of closing back in and using this Q to get that one instead of letting it die while he ran over. And so at this point he has 96 in 12 minutes. That's pretty good. And he needs to leave this lane because it's going to be harder and harder to farm up here. He's getting too deep in. It's not, and he needs to not get this super minion spawning because that would mess up his farm. So what he needs to do is go down to bottom lane. Since it's just him in a farm contest, he could easily just go ahead, back off, and turn this into a better farming contest by going down to bottom lane, or even mid lane would be fine. It really doesn't matter what lane you do for this part of it. So the set of drills we're going to have him do is he's going to practice this a couple times to see that he can master it and get more comfortable farming with Jax. So he knows if he has low CS in a game, it wasn't from his lack of ability to farm, but his lack of ability to farm under duress. And so the next time he's going to go against a common top laner for bots and farming difficulty, I think I'm going to have him do Cho'Gath. And so after he does another video tomorrow night, we'll have him do his first video versus just Cho'Gath and farming and see how that affects his farm. Does his numbers go really down when he's getting harassed? Do they go up? Etc. And this can help you learn how to really farm well on a champion before you're in PvP and trying to just learn the PvP aspects of it. You're learning the basic mechanical skills. Can I farm up the champion? And so he's doing a good job. That's a high CS number for this far into the game. He's got a Sheen and a Zeal, so I mean that's a fairly strong. He's well on his way to his Trinity Force. And you take those items first if you're able to win your trades. If you need more tankiness, then you would go with the Phage first. Or if they're escaping you and you're chasing them down, the Phage is going to help you pull that off. He needs to learn the distances on these towers here. He could have easily let that go a little farther and have his creeps still not pick it up. So here he's going to go out and head off to the bottom lane, because I think with the spectator delay he realized that he should be going to a different lane. And so I told him that and he left. And so here he's going to go out to the bottom lane and go. There he should have dropped his ward over the wall and leaped to it. It's the mechanics of Jax he doesn't know yet because he's learning the champion. And that was why I had him even pick up a Wriggles Lantern, was mostly because of how useful it is as on Jax. If you're going to play a farming game, and somebody does there, he stops and takes the tower. While that is a good objective in games, when you're trying to rack up your farming score, it doesn't help you. Let the minions work to whittle down the tower, and you run past the tower and tank the next wave. He lost 2 or 3 CS because he took that tower out instead of running past it. The tower would have gone down either way. And if that was your objective, take the tower and back off, that would have been good. But when you're in a farming objective, it didn't help. And if you're just trying to get bigger and you don't want to kill the tower for you want it up so that the lane doesn't push out too far, so that you can keep farming because you're getting way ahead, then there's all sorts of reasons to leave that tower up. Plus, when you run past it, you can't lose CS to minions. So I think he heard me talking about how he can drop a ward over a wall and jump to it. So that's what that was about. I think he's going to leap to it here just to teach himself that he can. Sometimes you need to know what they can do to start capitalizing on it. And I'll talk to him about escape strategies for farming later. But for right now, we're just working on that farm. And he's at 176 at almost 19 minutes, 178 at 19. And he's got a few minutes to grab a few more pieces of farm and get off to. We're going to close this one out and make another video just tomorrow night and make it the final one for this part of it, and then have him go against a bot so that he can see, hey, if I can do these kind of numbers with no contest, how much can I do with a bot there? And if you learn against the bot and some harass and you focus on that, you're going to start being able to do it better against players, and that's more or less the concept we're going with here. So you're going to see him take out a few more, and that 193 is all he's going to get. So 193, that's a really good score against players, and it's not a bad score for bots. And that's going to do it for this game, and good luck in your games.